Let's talk a little bit about why learning, transformative learning, is an active process rather than a passive one. We can divide the most common learning styles as visual, auditory, and tactile or kinesthetic learning. Visual learners use visual techniques to remember things. Many times, these learners prefer to read or look at diagrams, graphs, or other visual representations rather than just listen to a lecture. Details such as colors and spatial arrangements are areas that visual learners excel in. Auditory learners depend on hearing and speaking as a way of learning. These learners are good at oral exams. It has been said that auditory learners, when having to interact with text, do better when they have sound in the background. Many times, these learners will move their lips or talk to themselves to help accomplish their learning tasks. Tactile or kinesthetic learners prefer to carry out physical activity rather than listening to a lecture or even watching a demonstration. These learners may struggle to learn by reading or listening and may need to move around while they are learning. My own personal style is a combination of visual and tactile. I like to dig in and get involved with what I'm learning. I'm sure you are identifying with one or more of these learning styles yourself. It is important to know what kind of learner you are. However, it is also important to know that not all of your courses or opportunities for learning will take that into consideration. As much as I would love to see more individualized learning, higher ed is still working toward those goals. Your success will lie in your ability to take the resources you were given, look for others that are more conducive to your learning style, and actively work with the material that way. It is also important to note that your learning style can change and be influenced by culture and experiences. Okay, so now we know we all have ways we prefer to work with new knowledge based on our learning styles. Now let's talk a bit about our multiple intelligences, as this also influences our experience with learning new things. As you can see, I have listed 8 different intelligences on this slide. This is based on Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. We all have some degree of each of these, although between you and I think I was absent when the musical intelligence was passed out. Take a look at these. Which resonate with you? Are you verbal, visual, or spatial? Do you have more gifted intelligence in music? Do you have great interpersonal skills, mathematical skills, interpersonal skills? Are you more naturalistic and you learn better in nature? All of these are important, and you will have a little bit of them all. It is your personal recipe of how you learn and your multiple intelligences that you excel in. Okay, so now we come to our learning experience with multiple intelligences and a preferred way to learn. Now what? If we were shooting a movie, now is when we would say action. This will look familiar to you from our last module when we discussed the constructivist learning theory. We are presented with a new idea. We take it in, we play with it a bit as we fit it into what we already know about something similar. And then perhaps we talk to other people and learn what they think. And then we reform our thinking a little bit. We actively construct new knowledge. It is an active process. So if we can construct knowledge on our own, why is collaboration so important? This brings me to a quote by Werner Heisenberg, who said, quote, "We have to remember that what we observe is not nature in itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning." Close quote. It is based on how our prior experience colors it. Think about this. Visualize giving 3 different people a camera and asking them to shoot the same scene. When we receive back the 3 different photos of the same scene, we would have 3 different representations. That is because everything that you do, say, or think is influenced by your own story. We all react to the same stimuli in a different way. I may take a picture of the sun over the mountains as my photos focus, while you may take a picture of the butterfly poised on the little yellow flower in the foreground. Both are beautiful, both are valid, and when shared, these varied ideas can be explored to create new knowledge and new ideas. In other words, it's like the old peanut butter and chocolate commercials. Remember those? The ones that said, "You got your peanut butter in my chocolate." No, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter. Either way, both were delicious. And for those of us who love peanut butter cups, one was even better with the other. That's why it is so important to collaborate, communicate, create discourse, and think creatively. New ways of thinking about things are brought to life. Learning's exciting and active, much better than to perpetuate the old lecture, write a paper merry-go-round. Don't you think? So now we've gone through a few things, and we've come up with this recipe for social learning. You bring your knowledge and your story to your learning. You listen to others' ideas that are informed by their stories. And by doing this and collaborating and speaking and sharing, you will help to create learning environments that are active, transformative, and dynamic. And not only this, right now we're speaking about school courses and your future in your college experiences. However, this happens all of the time. Every day, every moment, new stimuli is coming in. And we think about it and we put it where it belongs. But as we start interacting with other people and we take the time to learn their story and they take the time to learn ours, then when we are talking about subjects or new ideas, even more ideas come about. It is exponential, it is dynamic, and it is wonderful. And this is the kind of these are the kind of skills that are required in the 21st century. It is what businesses are looking for, companies, whether you want to start your own company. These are skills that are important, and they will just continue to enrich your life and help get your ideas out there and give you ideas that you never thought of. So learning is an active process. We do it all the time, and it is wonderful to think about.